October 23, 1915, Fifth Avenue goes completely silent as tens of thousands of women dressed in white flood the streets of New York City. They march for 5 miles. Some carry babies, others are in their 70s with canes, and one woman is actually breastfeeding her child while marching. Stay until the end to discover why this stunning parade didn't get them the vote, but changed America anyway. It's a golden October afternoon in Manhattan. The air is crisp and cold, and right now over 25,000 women are gathering at Washington Square Park. They're wearing white dresses and carrying yellow banners. Some are on horseback. Others push baby carriages decorated with flowers. They've been planning this for months. In exactly 10 days, New York men will vote on whether to give women the right to vote. This parade is the suffragists' last chance to change hearts and minds. Everything depends on this moment. One newspaper editor arrives expecting to see a joke. What he witnesses instead will leave him absolutely stunned. Here's what you need to understand. By 1915, women had been fighting for the vote for 67 years. 67 years. That's longer than most people live. The Seneca Falls Convention happened in 1848, and American women still can't vote in most states. They're told they're too emotional, too delicate, that politics will corrupt their pure feminine nature. Something's changing. 13 states have already given women the vote. Progressive New York seems ready to join them. The suffragists know this is their moment, but they also know they're walking a tightrope. If they seem too aggressive, they'll be called militants and troublemakers. If they seem too meek, nobody will take them seriously. So they decide to create something New York has never seen before, a parade so beautiful, so massive, so perfectly organized that nobody can ignore it. They call women from all 5 boroughs, from upstate, from across the river. They recruit labor unions, social clubs, and professional groups. And they choose one powerful symbol. Everyone wears white. At 3:00 p.m. sharp, the parade begins. The 7th Regiment band plays. Mounted police lead the way. Then come the marchers. And they keep coming and coming. For over 4 hours, an endless river of white flows up Fifth Avenue. The New York Times describes it as more poem than procession. Old women march beside teenage girls. Social register elites walk arm in arm with working mothers carrying babies. There are 74 women on horseback. At least 2,500 men march in solidarity. One group of women carries ballot boxes on a stretcher, like they're carrying something dead that needs to be brought back to life. The most talked about marcher is what newspapers call a fine Juno-esque woman of the finest mother type, who breastfeeds her baby while marching the entire 5-mile route. The crowd cheers her on. Signs read, "You trust us with the children, trust us with the vote," and a vote for suffrage is a vote for justice. At the reviewing stand near the public library, Margaret Vail stands proudly. She's President Woodrow Wilson's niece, and she's marching for votes for women. Even New York's mayor joins the parade. By 7:10 that evening, when the last marcher finally passes, everyone knows they've witnessed something historic. Police estimate anywhere from 25,000 to 60,000 marchers, with 250,000 spectators lining the streets. Here's the twist. 2 weeks later, the referendum failed. New York men vote no. After all that effort, after that spectacular parade, women still don't get the vote. The suffragists are devastated. Was it all for nothing? No. Was it that Kansas newspaper editor who came to mock the parade? Henry J. Allen writes something that changes everything. 40,000 women do not spend days getting ready for a 5-mile march through crowded streets and hours marching in a raw afternoon for a transitory whim. It was absolutely overwhelming. 2 years later, in 1917, New York women won the vote. 3 years after that, the 19th Amendment was passed, giving all American women the right to vote. That parade planted seeds that couldn't be uprooted. It showed that women demanding equality weren't a fringe group of radicals. They were mothers, daughters, workers, professionals. They were half the population. and they weren't going away. So here's what I want you to think about. Sometimes our most significant efforts don't create immediate change. Sometimes the victory comes later in ways we don't expect, because we planted something in people's minds they couldn't forget. What cause are you marching for, even when the immediate results disappoint you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely want to hear your story. If these unexpected turning points in history inspire you, you're exactly where you need to be. History Sparks uncovers moments that remind us change doesn't happen overnight, but it does when people refuse to give up. Hit subscribe and join our community. We've got more incredible stories of persistence, courage, and eventual triumph waiting for you. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we've discovered next.